Right, no use in pretending things do not go well. You have no idea how many Dave synths are after me right now, but the truth is, I never wanted some cushy job or a fancy studio. I wanted this. One of the most remote outposts available. This is where heroes are made. Right here, into the forest we go.
Jean-Luc Picard and his motley crew have finally arrived at Soji's homeworld, but things don't start out so well.
What just happened?
They hit us with a flower.
When space orchids attack! At this point, why not, huh? Bring them on. Welcome back to SYFY WIRE's Warp Factor Picard Edition, Episode 9. Engage! Once more onto the breach, dear friends, for a mission briefing! It may be the last time we pass this way again. All crew to spoiler stations because we're taking this to the nth degree. If you haven't watched the new episode Et in Arcadia Ego Part 1, then shields up and red alert! Narek attacks La Serena the moment they arrive on the planet Capellius, but the cube has arrived thanks to opening its own transwarp conduit, and it helps them out. Soon, a bunch of giant space orchids, you heard me correctly, bring all 3 ships down to the planet's surface. Picard wakes up in a daze and finally tells the La Serena crew about his medical condition. They all check out the downed cube before heading to Synthville. Raffi's words, not mine. They find a bunch of XBs still alive, and Elnor, 7 of 9, all of them still aboard the cube. All of them are going to get what systems they have back on track so they can assist against the oncoming Romulan fleet. Then it's on to the city of synths, which is full of synth twins of all kinds, including Janna's twin, Sutra. Also in the mix, Dr. Alton Inigo Soong, son of Dr. Noonien Soong, played by Brent Spiner. He reveals that Bruce Maddox did stay there for a time before sending out Daj and Soji to investigate the possible Jatvash corruption in Starfleet. Soong isn't thrilled that Maddox is dead.
Shame on you, Agnes.
Sutra may be a synthetic, but she is able to mind meld Jurati to see the admonition, which she then believes to be a promise from a higher form of synthetic life. She manipulates a captured Narek, stokes fear, and riles up other synths to join her in contacting this race, all with the aim of wiping out organic life. Now, man, I'm so jumpy. Okay. Soji, Jurati, and Soong are all on her side, and all of them are duped. Not Jean-Luc, though.
You will become mass murderers.
I'm not like you, Picard.
They imprison him, but he did try to contact Starfleet earlier and let them know what's going on so that squadron could still be on the way. Raffi and Rios were out repairing La Serena, and Seven and Elnor's work on the cube continues. Still approaching, a Romulan fleet of over 218 ships. Gonna need 219 orchids, at least, when orchids attack. Watch out.
Look at his eyes uncovered!
Did the new episode come locked and loaded with references to Trek past, as well as new canon to enhance the journey? Did Duras seriously have it coming?
What?
A big yes to both questions. Sokath, his eyes uncovered! Probably the biggest reference is the reappearance of actor Brent Spiner, not playing Data, but the son of Dr. Noonien Soong, first seen in the TNG Season 4 episode Brothers. We didn't know that the older Dr. Soong had a son. As Alton Soong says, my father had me, but he created Data. Many of the synths we see are similar to Data in appearance, including a gold-hued skin and Data-like eyes. The Data references continue when we see that they've even created a synthetic cat named Spot 2. This is, of course, a reference to Data's cat on TNG, also named Spot. He was a good cat, and a pretty cat.
I will feed him.
Sutra, being well-versed in Vulcan lore, brings up a mention of Surak, as well as the Cathyra, a Vulcan loop.
Just thinking, hey brother, do you play?
It's the one that Spock used to play, remember? You remember. This is also the only case where we see a non-organic or even a non-Vulcan be able to use the mind meld. Data, however, it should be noted, once got quite good with the Vulcan nerve pinch, as he demonstrated in the TNG episode Unification Part 2. The promise of transferring minds into android bodies was a plot point in the original series episode Return to Tomorrow, and the original series also references higher androids with the Makers in iMud and the old ones in What Are Little Girls Made Of, a question that you should never ask in public. The android costumes evoke an original series feel, and the new version of the admonition also features a classic series insignia. Also, the space orchids, that's something weird enough right out of the original series or even the animated series. It was weird in the most glorious way, right? Right, I mean, I thought so. To drive all of the original series and Vulcan references home, Sutra responds to the admonition with the classic Spock refrain of, fascinating. Also fascinating, but kind of a stretch, the planet's name Capellius shares a name with a character from the 1816 short story The Sandman by E.T.A. Hoffman. Now stay with me here. Yeah. In that story, the character Capellius is described as fear-instilling and a malformed man who spoils happiness. Is this a hint that things on this planet may be worse than what they seem? Could Alton Soong, who we've never heard of before, possibly be a disguised lore? This is all, this all has a lore tint to it, and with the XPs back in the picture, it could all tie back into TNG's descent, right? It's a stretch, but it's a fun stretch. JL gets called Locutus again on the down cue, but seriously, guys, just let it go. And one of the best references of all came when 7 of 9 reappeared. Composer Jeff Russo has used snippets of Jerry Goldsmith's gorgeous main theme for Star Trek Voyager before when 7 appears, but this was the grandest and best iteration of it yet. For more background on everything in this episode, go back to the Academy and get your Soong on with the TNG Season 4 episode, Brothers. The sons of Soong reunite, and there are consequences. Aren't there always?
So you here to help with the cleanup, or do you just make messes?
I don't believe it.
Earl Grey never fails. Though, admittedly, things aren't looking very good. They could easily trace me at any second, so we'll stick to just one quote this week, even though I could easily do 6 or 7. Now, Patrick Stewart was on fire in this episode, as was the entire cast, but the line that stuck out the most, and is quite applicable to my current situation, is when the bad odds were brought up, JL says,
Well, hope and the odds make for bedfellows.
Once again, leave it to Jean-Luc Picard to fill us with the true spirit of Trek. Earl Grey never fails, though as one viewer pointed out, maybe Earl Grey must fail. Shaka, when the walls fell.
I want you to reconsider your present course of action.
We have no choice.
That is a failure of imagination.
What are you doing here? Trying to save the universe?
All ships, prepare to fight.
Is it a coincidence that this episode brings Picard's illness back into the forefront and then has Jurati and Soong talk about making bodies and mind transfer technology? I don't think so. Take that, Irumodic Syndrome. Also, Janice seriously let me down. Now, I know she's upset about the completely unjust treatment of synths, and I get it, but taking a dastardly page out of the Zhat Vash playbook, that is low. I mean, even for me, that's low. Even for Narek, that would be low. Although probably not. The opposite of low, the notion that we're gonna get that Starfleet squadron and some giant space orchids fighting a Romulan fleet next week. Count on it. Something else you can count on. Crusher! Crusher Watch. Crusher Watch. One episode to go. Time for all cards on the table. Gonna transfer JL's memories into a new body. Well, there's only one doctor/soulmate who knows him well enough to do it. Sure, there's always season 2, but now is the time. Now is the time for Dr. Beverly Crusher. This is where heroes are made. Will I face my doom, or will I have vindication? Either way, we'll know in a week. Also, flying in with hope and bad odds, Riker and Worf. Riker and Worf. And Kira. And Ezri Dax. Hell, Cisco and Janeway too. Quark, Morn, why not? I'd say Q as well, but I think they're probably saving him. Q never know. Our hailing frequencies are now open. Last week we asked, will they find a Data/Soong type android on Soji's homeworld? The answer's A, of course. B, no. That's the end of Brent Spiner. The answer and reaction on both Twitter and YouTube was A, of course, with one viewer commenting, of course they'll find a Soong type android. Lore. Well, we are thankfully seeing Brent Spiner, just not an android. We think, as I said, lore could still be in the table. You just never know with that guy. So would someone just fix him? Am I right? So, yeah, I'm with you. It could be lore. See, after 9 episodes, synergy. See, it's like we're family. It's like we're brothers. Except not really. Be sure to check out this week's poll, which can be found on both Twitter and YouTube. Is Jana's plan justified? The answers are A, yes, it's time for the synths to take a stand, or B, no, it's genocide. Not cool.
Will we even get to finish, or is this the end? Has the universe put an end to our trek through the stars? We'll find out soon enough. I'm not going anywhere. So, come back next week where we'll see what's out there with part 2 of this epic season finale. In the meantime, blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Cut transmission.